Hi, Mike Griffin here with another installment of MTD TV. This time we're looking at a satellite distribution system that's used by retail stores, and this has 2,000 receive locations. And you can see on this screen that there are a series of buttons here, and each button has a store number, and you can see they're highlighted and they have different statuses and different colors and so forth. And scrolling down we can see more, and I'll explain some of these here in a moment. We'll stop here in Seattle, 195 stores. Yellow means there's some sort of issue on that site, and you can see when we hover there's more information that comes up. If we go down to this one, we see lock status not locked. But if we wanted to know more, we just double click and drill in, and we get a whole thing here, and you can see there is no signal, there's no signal strength, and in fact it is unlocked. And you can see as we touch these we get graphs for the different things. Below is a bunch of information about the machine, including the temperature of the system and whether the fans are running. If I click this contents button, we get back to this page, and I can look at all the files that are stored out on that particular receiver. Now, let me close that down, come back. You have a number of systems that are green. Red, of course, means that this receiver is offline, not in use at all. Some of these have little halos around them. If we click one of the ones with a halo around it, and we look at the comments tag, we will see that there are, in fact, some comments. And it's talking about having a storm, and the storm might blow the dish around on the roof and so forth, and needs some information. So a lot of stuff that you can find out here. And on any of these we have a data selector here on the left, and if we go to any of these we will see that parameter graphed out over time. You can see what's happening to the signal to noise ratio, the ESNO, the bit error rate. There is none, that's good. And you can see the receive rate, frequency has been consistent as we would hope, and all of the other parameters, so you can drill in. If we come to the bottom, there is this button to get us back to list the contents. There is this button that will actually take you to the web page that's created by that receiver, and this button will click into an SSH login to it, and then the comments button I had shown you before. If we come back to the main page, you can see all the other receivers and scroll down, so we can get a good view in a very short time of what all 2,000 receivers are doing. And we see here some with some different colors, and this one happens to be connected to feed number 2, whereas the lighter green ones are connected to feed number 1. There's a color legend on the page at the top that shows this kind of information. On the left is a navigation screen, and if we open these folders you can see that there's a variety of selections that you can make. For example, we can view the head end of this system and see the status of all the elements on the head end. And here you can see that there is an uplink here, a couple of PAs and a baseball switch that selects it, modulators and all the other associated equipment, and the colors showing the status. Green status means that equipment is good, and so forth. There's also a messages view, and in this case there are no outstanding messages, but it's where all of the consolidated error messages from the head end come in one place so that you can view them in context and together. And then there are a number of reports. Let's take a look at receiver channel status. If you come to receiver channel status, you can see that there are a number of parameters that we can ask for, and if we come over here we can select a particular division or all divisions, and then there's various searches we can do on it. But as an example, we'll look at carrier lock and status and click check status. And you can see receivers are listed here, and this one was up for a certain amount of time, and the IP address. And another status. And you can see, without going to each receiver, you can see what the EBNO is, the ESNO, the level, the signal to noise, the BER, and so forth for each of the divisions. Now this report's kind of interesting, but if you wanted to, you could also select that report and click the export button, and a report would be generated that is suitable for viewing in Microsoft Excel. And by selecting Excel, you can do various sorts and data management and so forth on it. So if we just simply open that report, if we're doing it from a PC that has Excel installed on it, you'll see that the report comes down, and now you have all this data in a format that you can do various things with, sort and graph and report and things that managers like. So a variety of data is exported as well. There are things like Hotbox, where we tell you the receivers that are over the temperature threshold, and we also issue reports on that and so forth. And a lot of other things. Active sites is what we were looking for earlier with all the buttons out there that change color according to the state of the receivers. If these stores need to be decommissioned, then a particular place is clicked and they go into this offline status. We call it heaven because the stores that are closed or for whatever reason are not online come here, and you can see the status of that. So that's a quick look at the MTD system monitoring large groups of satellite receivers in a retail environment.